In 2014, I was fortunate enough to travel to Giverny, France, to Monet's place, my favorite painter and my favorite spot, with his garden and his pond and his green bridge and his house. So I love Monet. I painted some really ugly watercolors when I was there, but I had a 20 by 20 canvas with a painting I no longer liked. I painted periwinkle blue, a little pale green, some flowers in the grass, and I thought, oh, this is Giverny. And a friend said, you need some trees. So I planted trees, painted colors in them, painted colors in the leaves, and hence a Giverny path. So the combination.
Hello, my name is Roger Ellingson, and my painting is Perspective Matters. And I like doing downtown paintings, so it's a version of what I've done quite often. And the three different perspectives are the color, the gray and white, and the white. And it kind of shows three different things happening in South Dakota. The color could represent just the attitude that things are normal, life goes on as normal. The gray represents more people who are being more cautious. It's more, okay, we're watching after things. And the white represents those people who are no longer with us. And I found it kind of hard to do paintings during COVID. I should have done a lot, but it seemed like a lot of the time I just kind of stalled. Kind of had a version of writer's block, except in painting. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Groth, and I live and work here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota as a professional artist. My piece for the pandemic, The Art of Survival show, is called The Dogs of COVID Rescue Me. And it's in reference to the fact that in March 2020, the animal shelters were completely emptied of their dogs here in Sioux Falls, and probably many cats, because our need for companionship and our fear of loneliness drove us to find companions that weren't humans, since we were all quarantined. And I hope everybody who got an animal is going to keep that animal after the pandemic is over. The fact that I called it Rescue Me is referencing the fact that our animals rescue us as much as we rescue them. Thank you.
Eileen Helmerson, and I'm just very honored to be in this showing of the pandemic artwork. Art is a healing process, and it's great for us. We get away from our stresses, and we can have a feeling of satisfaction. Zoom has been great for rose mowing because we can connect with teachers who live 5 hours away from us and be joined by other rose mowers from across the U.S. and Canada. I've been able to take about 6 or 8 classes over the winter. And this has been wonderful, because winter in the Midwest is not travel friendly.
I'm Dwayne Sheldon. 2020 was a trying year for everyone. The world had to find a way to pull together. My piece, Together 2020, I felt was the appropriate way to illustrate what we needed to do, and that was pull together. During the pandemic shutdown, I was able to keep busy and positive with my artwork. Now we're in 2021. We're on our way.
Hi, I'm Caroline Landon. I'm the artist of the portrait of Laughing Crow, Maddoking Wong. He was my son, and he passed away August 2020 in the VA hospital in Portland, Oregon. I was able to be with him at his last hours of life, but COVID prevented me from spending any time with him during his last months. He didn't want me to move or come to Portland, travel there, and nor did his sister, my daughter, want me to travel there because of the risks involved. He had a big laugh. His friends remember him that way, and I hope you will remember him that way too.
Paul Peterson. My painting, Dakota Landscape Untitled, is a landscape painting of the Vermilion River bottom done from memory. It represents some land that my dad farmed when I was a kid. Some of my first memories of hanging out with my dad farming were of the two of us being down on the bottom, checking out the crops and getting into the field. During the pandemic, when things were kind of slow and maybe shut down a little bit, I spent a lot of time painting and drawing and kind of revisiting some themes, some ideas, some ways of working, some places that were familiar and comforting to me. So I'm really happy to see this painting in the show.
Hello, I'm the artist for A Quiet Place in the Pandemic Show. Welcome to the show. I did the artwork standing out at Arrowhead Park here in Sioux Falls. It's a quiet place to paint and to go to when you want to study and be alone, which plein air work involves a lot of. My work is done mostly outside, on location from start to finish. I try to do a little bit of work here in the studio too, but usually I try to finish things up when I'm outside. A Quiet Place is one of 4 paintings that were done on location at Arrowhead Park, and if you get out to the park, you can go up behind the barn and down the hill. It's a great place to go when you want some scenery and a quiet place. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kristen J. Rogg here. At my working cattle ranch in western South Dakota, life has continued as usual. The cows must be fed, the hay must be harvested, the people need to eat, so we are doing our part to help produce quality beef for the health of the world. Green Pastures was photographed in one of our cattle grazing pastures where our cows spend their birthing months. This particular evening, I was out hiking searching for wildflowers. As the sun set reflecting orange in the southeastern sky, I was reminded of Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
The section I'm going to work on now, which is really tricky, is this piece right here, where the little hairs from the pasque flower come in to what is actually the background. And so I've got to make sure that this is very soft as well as this. So I'm going to wet this area here, wet this first, wet that first, and then I'm going to put this color in and hope that that works. So I'm wetting this area here with clean water. That doesn't look too clean, does it? That over here, it's, watch it, see how it's fading in there? And then I want some clear water in here. So that will fade. And then the darker color over in here to fade with this.
Hi, I'm Judy Thompson, and I would like to tell you about my artwork, Lone Tree. Lone Tree depicts two cows, huddled together, finding shelter under a big old cottonwood, the only tree in their pasture. Like these cows, I found myself sheltered in place with my husband during this long COVID season. Although it's been a difficult year, I wanted this painting to express hope. I painted this landscape with rich colors and textures, from the clouds in the sky to the cultivated fields in the foreground. Even though the cows have confined themselves to the shade, there are lush fields of beauty just waiting to be explored. Soon, like us, these huddled bovines will step out of their shade into the brilliant world which surrounds them. Thanks.